Okay, so first of all we are going to see this image that I have painted already, and if you are following the reference picture as well. So this architecture has three big portions. It's divided into three main parts. And first of all, we are going to measure the length of this part. How much of the length our canvas is? I think this one is of the 14 inch. So half of the 14 will be 7. So first we'll draw the midrib, calculating from 0 inch to 7 inch this side, and mark with the scale. This is the center of our canvas, and we'll drop a line. This is the mid part of our architecture. If you want to note it down somewhere, you can. Or if you want to make a video of it, you can. Most welcome. Okay, so this architecture is basically comprising of the first part, that is, I will distribute this whole architecture into three different sections. I will take these two sections on the equal lengths of the equal measurements, and this last section would be a little bit bigger, so that the grills are continuing here, and this is also the circular architectural part as well. So I'll take this part as a broader version, and the above two parts would be distributed in the equal dimension or the part sections. So, and yeah, previously in my home I have already done with this part of painting the phthalo with phthalo green, and the combination of phthalo green and black on this canvas, because on the backdrop we have this color. In the background, if you can see, everything is nice and dark, and I have mixed two colors here. I haven't simply used solo black here, I have mixed it with the green as well. So phthalo green and the combination of phthalo green and black I have already done on this canvas, so that I do not waste my time over here. You know, like if I would be painting it over here, it would take a lot of time, drawing time, and I won't be able to draw it with the white chalk pencil or anything. The architecture I'm talking about. So I will just demonstrate how it will be made with pencil, and then inshallah I'll pick that canvas up and I will try to draw everything on that canvas. So here in this part I'm just doing the measurements over here. You can note it down. I took 7 inch here, dropped the line from the mid, and distributed the canvas into two halves. So the first part I'm going to take would be 6 inch. 6.2 or 3 you can take according to the length of my canvas. Here it is 24 inch. I have 17 inch broad and 24 inch long canvas. So for this dimension I'm going to take 6.2, 3, 4, okay, whatever. I'm taking just 6.4 here. I'll just mark it 6.4, another mark 6.4. And later I have this part that comprises of the circular architecture and the grills. Okay, so we are going to just draw the line, extend the line. In order to get this separated. Ribs to differentiate each and everything where the thing would lie. Okay, in the first part, okay, we have a border as well in the architecture. If you are seeing, so we have a boundary. So I'm taking the frame of this canvas as a reference, the wooden frame of this canvas, the boundary of this architecture. So I'll just mark some straight lines in the corner and we'll drop them down.
So there's no specific measurement for this, like it's just maybe half an inch.
Yeah, just half an inch. I'm just giving a reference of this wooden structure, yes. As a reference, I'm just drawing this. just take the boundary. If you are working on a bigger canvas, then you can go for a bigger dimension or bigger width of the breadth of these lines. So I'm just making a border. Okay. So we have another thing, that is another lane, or you can say a structure, which is near to this boundary, in which we have these grills that you are seeing in the upper portion of this calligraphic work. This part I'm talking about. We have certain grills. We have 5 grills with 5 rows and 3 columns, like this. So I'll be making all these 5. We have 5 rows here, and this is the midrib. This is the central part. I'm taking a reference of this to our central rod. This is our central rod. I'm taking it as a reference, and I'll follow. I'll keep the distance from here to here, same distance. Like for example, I'm starting one rod here, then another rod here, then this rod comes, then another rod, and then another rod. So we have like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows and 3 columns. Here we also have another structure over here that contains the head of this rod. Here too as well. Since we are working on a smaller dimension, so everything will be nice and small. If you are working on a bigger canvas, then according to that you will adjust with the measurements and the sizes of these structures. So this drawing work is basically, I'm just doing a rough drawing. I should do that on this main canvas, but for your convenience I'm doing it. I'll get myself transferred to that canvas soon.
So basically we have to draw everything on the black one?
No. Yeah, sorry. Yes. You are going to first paint this background.
Okay.
And then you are going to work on it with the white charcoal pencil, or you can take chalk or anything. Like for example, I should take this canvas instead of this. So in order to save my time, and because it will take a lot of time in drying, so, and if you'll apply a very dense layer of this color, so you won't be able to use the charcoal pencil on it. You will find it difficult, because charcoal pencil doesn't work on a thick layer of acrylics. It slips away. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're applying just the minimalistic layer of first layer, you can say, just one layer. You don't have to go very harsh with your strokes, especially when you are working on a base. So okay, so as I mentioned that I took this is the central part of this canvas, 7 inch. Okay, 14, half, 7. So I am going to take this rod, and this rod will go down to the end. This will follow. So it will be like this. It's a little bit light right now. I hope that you guys can see, otherwise I'll take chalk. Okay, so this is my central rod, and following that will be the other rods on both sides. 1, okay, so these rods have a different color palette. The rods that are exposed to the light part are having different tones, while the rods that are behind the calligraphic work are having different tones. So you have to be careful when using different tones on these rods. Light and shadow effect is being followed. And when you have to use the color in a light mode, you will add white. We'll add all the light colors, white and the lightest shade of all those colors that you are using. While if you are going to have shadow effect, then you are going to darken things up with black or Van Dyke brown or black. Here in this painting I will be using these colors. So these are 5 rods, rows and 8 columns. And these have some circular things, some designs. All are equal. I'm just doing a rough sketch and I'll be painting it. All things will get normal. Okay, so here we have this border that I have traced, and we have another thing, the side of the border, which also contains the head of the pillar, head of the rods. Okay, here in the side as well we'll focus. Actually this architecture is asymmetrical. This is the symmetry, the mirror image of both of these sides are opposite and equal mirror image of each other, and we have the center. Here too we have some space of the heads of the pillars, the starting points of the pillars. Here there's another architecture. Beautiful architecture type of thing, I cannot name, but yeah, it's just like the lamp of Aladdin. So I'll just make a rough sketch of it first. If you guys have practiced it before, it would be very nice and easy for you to make all such things. Basically, the true essence of this class is to get yourself accustomed and familiar with the usage of the colors. Drawing comes with the practice. The perfection in the drawing comes with the practice. Don't expect yourself to draw like pros in your first class. But yeah, if you are gifted, mashallah, if you have practiced a lot, then I am expecting good results from you guys. But okay, these things will be equal. These will be equal. Like for example, if this dimension is, it should be equal. Because as I mentioned earlier, that these architecture are the asymmetrical architecture. They are the mirror images of each other. This side is a mirror image of that side, equal and opposite. So this has to be equal. So what you will do is take the scale and measure things up, and then you will draw. Same things, if you remember, Hifza, we did in Arches of Medina. Yeah. So same pattern we are going to follow over here. And in the middle part, we have this calligraphic portion. It's just a rough sketch right now, and we'll pair this things up with the use of colors. As I mentioned earlier, these has to be equal. Yes. So for that, I'm going to take the scale for the proper measurements to check if I'm drawing it correct or not. So I just put the scale, measured it out. So this is the first edge. Then we have a straight line. Then this line is getting dropped here somewhere. A little bit curved. Or maybe I'll just not extend this too much. I just have to make it a little bit closer to this architectural area. And here we have this moon, and now this calligraphic portion, Allah will come in center. Okay, so these parts of the rods will be on the back side of the calligraphic portion, and these will be in the darker mode. since they are in the background. Okay, first we have to position the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I'm just making a rough sketch, trying to fix the name here first. So now you can make some adjustments with the calligraphic portions. Like for example, I just did right now. Doesn't have to be necessarily accurate. As I mentioned earlier, that the essence of this class is just to learn. And calligraphy part and each and everything will come with the practice, with the passage of time. So this will be a main. If you want to take the picture, you can, and we can further proceed to our next part, this part. And what we'll do first, we drew it on the darker background. Then what are we going to do? We won't apply these colors that we are using on the palette. These colors that are yellow, mid yellow, orange yellow, other different colors directly on this black background, or yellow green mixed with black background. Because if you are going to directly apply those colors, then they won't show their original richness, and the beauty of that color would be hidden and masked because of the darker background. So what we are going to do, we are going to uplift the colors first. So we are going to do all this calligraphy, trace all this calligraphy first with white, and we'll let it dry, and then we are going to apply different coats, different layers of the colors, the corresponding color, the metallic colors that we are going to follow in this color palette on this color, on this architecture, in order to get this original metallic shade. Okay, let me just measure.
So what if we directly use golden or?
If you want to use golden color, you can. If you want to use golden color, then
This
you can.
technique only applies when you're using
This technique, yes. If you are using golden shade, then I would suggest you to use yellow ochre as a base. Then you can apply gold color, or you can just simply apply gold color first layer, second layer, third layer, and so on. Unless you get this richness of the golden color in your architecture. If you are making it in the gold, if you are applying gold foil, then the gold foil will be like just apply the leafing glue and then gold foil, and you'll get done with it. But I'm talking about this part of the technique that I am using right now. So in this part, you will have to have this dark background, and it has to be masked with white colors in order to get the original colors. If you have acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, you can also use that. So 6.4 I'm taking, or 6.2 you can say. So here we have some designs with the calligraphic part. I'm just going to show the first row. Later, these are 4 calligraphic portions. Mid part has some design, and these lines would be equal 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me just calculate. Yes. So these will be the lines 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm keeping a distance between these two lines 0 to 1.5. 1.5 inch distance between these two lines. 1.5 you can take in the calligraphic portion. Here too, there is separator lines of the architecture, the yellowish lines. We have a very small compact area in which we will do the calligraphy work. La ilaha illallah wal malikul haqqul mubin. I have simplified this version of the calligraphy over here. You can follow it. This is written, and the shape of the calligraphic work you can adjust according to the size of your brush. The cut brush will be used. We have different designs over there that are connecting with these roads somehow. They're doing the abstract version of it right now, so we save our time. Again, we are trying to adjust the name of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam here. I'm trying to adjust it here, and we have Muhammad Rasul. Rasul part is written over here. So first, what I did, I wrote the name of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam first, and I tried to adjust the Rasul part on the top of it. As I have made it here, you can follow it, and inshallah it will be very easy for you to draw it. Muhammad Rasulullah and Sadiq. Al-Wahid al-Amin. So this is, we are going to follow this whole entire pattern. You can, I don't think that there is some other order unless you are using that device, Apollo Nebula, which is just like copying it on the canvas. It's not recommended, it's just like tracing it. And I don't think that you can use carbon paper over here, because for the carbon paper you need to have a white background, and we need to use pen. And what we are using here is white charcoal pencil, so I don't think that there is no alternative. There is any alternative that you can go for. So you will have to, write this in four times over here. No other option. So this part I'm done with. We are going to, okay, we have another thing. I have kept a lid, tan box lid in the bag. Can you bring it, please? If you have a big size compass, you can use compass over here, but I won't recommend using compass because obviously it will make some hole in this canvas, yes, destroy the canvas. So what I'm using on my bigger canvas, when I was painting, I used plate to make a circle.
You can use a big bowl or something.
Yes, big bowl or plate or anything to make some circles or lid. So here I'm going to use the lid, and I'll make a center, assuming okay, some parts of this portion, this circular part is coming in this area of the background. Okay, and here too we have the extension of the rods. So I got a circle, and for the inner circle, I'll just follow this outer circle. Following this outer circle, I'll just try to draw the inner circle. The closer to the calligraphy circle is a bit closer to the circumference of the outer circle, and this part is a bit broader. What you can use, some different kitchen tools will really help you to make the circle. You have to be careful because it might not compress your canvas cloth. It will be very difficult for you to work then. I hope I did a good circle. I was doing the guesswork here right now. Here we have a screwdriver, and then the doors. The downside of this circular part is having this kind of wavy sort of pattern. It's somewhat like this. We will paint each and everything white before we proceed with the other different shades. And this here we have the extension of our grill part. Same patterns are going to be followed on the grill parts. And what you can do if you don't want your pencil work to be erased, what you can do is you can use the fixer, the varnish fixer hota hai. You can use that.
Why do we need
in order
to
to
erase
fix
it? Because once we apply
Oh,
the
we are
color,
working, so we'll get our hands touch on this canvas part. So these pencil work might get smudged. So in order to get it safe, you can apply some spray varnish before you proceed with the painting work.
okay.
So we'll follow the same pattern over here. As I mentioned earlier, these rods are having their extension. These rods are hidden behind this architectural work as well, and these are extending to the downside of this architecture as well. But the rods that are behind this calligraphy work are quite hidden, they are not visible. So it's totally up to you. If you want them to be shown, you can use these dark tones, the dark color palette to show them. Otherwise, it's not necessary. If you want to save your time, save it. So you see that you need to have a 12-inch scale. If you want to work with the architectural paintings, you need to have good tools. Accurate tools for making it convenient for you to do the working. So I should take another white pencil. Okay, so here we have some architectural designs. You see this structure, it has two different parts. Here we have some designs, and then it is connected, these two rods are connected with this circular bracket sort of structure. Again, we are going to use the scale. And again, we have rows and columns here. So it's up to you if you how much you want this length to be of this particular rod. I'm taking it from 0 to, but I have to check how many rods can come in this part. So let me just get them calculated first. So I'll extend this to 3.5 or 3 is over here, 3.5. Then again another rod will start from here somewhere, 3 will come 3.5, and then here will be the extension. So it will be like that. So I think that I should go for 3 or 3.5. So first the distance between these two rods would be 3 or 3.5 as per your choice and convenience. I'm talking about the dimensions that I am working on right now.
So there are 4 rods, right? And 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Because that is a bigger dimension.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
You can, according to the canvas,
Yeah.
you can adjust the.
Got your point.
Yeah. But here I'm working right now. Here the canvas is small compared to that canvas. That the dimension of that canvas was 26 into 48.
Oh,
Yes.
the one that you
Yes. This one. 26 into 48.
Is it so?
Yeah, that one is already sold. It's been a very long time. So, excuse me. So this is going to be the another rod, and there is a separator, a dot, then another. It will be continue. Or continue, if you want it to be continued, you can. Or if you just want a border, like for example, I have introduced that border. I have closed this grill part with a border. If you want to close this part with the border, you can. It's totally up to your choice. So same, I'm going to draw the lines, rows. Bird eye view is very important when you are painting, when you are drawing the architecture. You just have to move a little bit further away from your canvas and see every line is proper and it's not crooked or anything. Lines are straight, the work is okay. There's some point to be corrected, you should. And you should also take pictures while you are working on your canvas. Take pictures. Camera zooms out every error that your drawing part contains. So it is recommended for you to take pictures while you are working on a canvas or a paper. Okay, so let me get this breadth of this architectural work. It's 1.5, so it should be 1.5 inch border. And we have some brackets. Bracket that is enjoining these two rods together, this sort of structure. Then again there will be another rod over here. be like this. Okay, so I think that the drawing part, the demonstration and the decoding part is done. You will follow this pattern. You can measure the rows and the bracket sort of structure, the use of scale. Same again, you are going to follow this pattern for the brackets. I'm taking them how much broad I have took here. I think it's the same 1.5. So 1.5, 1.5 will be the width of that bracket structure with a small circular bracket structure. So this will be the architecture. If you want to take the picture, you can. If you want to come close and take the picture. Okay, now the colors. So we have a color palette over here in the outer border. We are going to use multiple shades of orange, yellow and mid yellow along with burnt sienna. And for the darker parts, I'm going to use darker shades, Van Dyke brown, burnt umber, black.
This is
Even
you're directly applying the ochre right now?
no, yellow orange
Okay.
and yellow, mid yellow and yellow orange. If we are applying the same without washing the brush. You can also use yellow ochre or raw sienna. And you can also use some different, if you want it to be orangish yellow sort of architecture, you can use these shades. But if you want to make it like metallic olive shade that I have produced over here, mid yellow plus Van Dyke brown will give you this shade. And if you add white to it, it will give olive green. So you can also use this shade as well. Van Dyke brown. Take a hint of Van Dyke brown along with mid yellow. Add some more mid yellow if you want to get this olive sort of, like this shade. You can add some more yellow to it and it will give you this metallic shade. This is also another sort of shade. This metallic shade, add more yellow.
I think this looks more nice.
It's up to your choices.
This is in a gold
It's yeah, it's everyone's taste and choices. So it's up to, and if I'm adding white to it, it will give more light effects. If I'm adding more Van Dyke brown to it, it will give a dense brassy effect like this here in this part. And if I'm adding white, it's like the light is reflecting on it. And if I'm using yellow orange, it will give an orangish yellow sort of look. So what I was discussing previously was this that I have to paint white before I go any step further. I have to mask this blackness, this darkness of the background first.
Every part or just this round?
No, every part of this architecture, even the calligraphy, each and everything. It will be masked. Or what you can do is, but that will take a lot of your time and precision and will create a lot of mess for you. and it will be very time taking and very really hard work. What you can do is you can do all this architectural drawing part first, and then you can just fill in the spaces with the small detailing brushes. The phthalo green and black and all these spaces, but would take a lot of your time and efforts.
So why are we putting white color? Don't the color show up on the black background? Black bed she's
You'll see the magic.
Okay.
You'll see the magic.
Once you see the painting, nobody can have a clue that white has been used in it.
Nope. They don't even have an idea what's going on here. Unless they are artists. They'll know. So each and everything will be painted with white first in order to mask the darkness of this backdrop. So let me just get done with it. It's very taking time, a lot of time. So we don't have much time. We need to demonstrate all these things to you. Venn diagram. Have you written this combination of Venn diagram? And if you want to add more blackness to this combination that you have used, you will add black, burnt sienna, black with along with yellow, orange. These will be the colors of your choices for this painting. Okay, go in and out with the use of black and white. If you want it to be light, you can use white. And for this richness of the color, you can use orange. I'm using orange as well. Here I've used orange. I'll let it dry, and then I'm going to mask it with several different colors, that color palette that I'm using. So these are all the colors that I'm using here in this color architectural painting, which comprise of the what color palette? Yellow, orange, mid yellow, burnt sienna, burnt umber. And if you want to give the light effects, just use white. Sometimes we also can leave some portions blank on the canvas to give the light effect. This too happens. So calligraphy portion. As I mentioned earlier, everything will be masked first. If you see anything out of alignment, you will always mask them with the background color. Like for example, I thought that I made some errors, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick phthalo green and the combination of black and phthalo green in order to do the definition, as well as if I've made any error, then I will just try to fix it with the background color.
So that we have to do 10 and 10.
Yes. Whenever you feel like that you have made an error, you can so always mask it with the background color. Even in the calligraphy, if you are seeing it's not neat, you can just tidy things up using the background color and the detailing brush. So here in these corners as well, I'll let this calligraphy get right first. Until then I'm going to do some darkness in these these corners. So what I'm going to do is I will take this scale I'm going to mark some definitions using the dark tones, which is black and Van Dyke brown. We use the scale here and there, and we have some screws as well in this part of the architecture. So it draws screws like this. And made high highlight, give some shadows to the screws. Screws so that they are visible. I usually use diluted colors. Dilute them with water, smudge them on the piece of cloth that I am using, and then I use a diluted version of the color. We have screws here too in this part. You can also use yellow, orange. And finally, the dark tones, black, burnt umber, Van Dyke brown. To make these screws prominent. Here too we have screws in this part. Okay, so now the calligraphic work, same colors I will follow. Yellow, orange, along with white, burnt umber, burnt sienna. Or if you want to go for the orange, the olive tones, you can go for the combination of Van Dyke brown and yellow. And if you want to make it a bit darker, then you can go for black. Addition of black will give.
I have a question. If we want to illustrate the golden color, let's say, so can't you use it directly on the black pen without having a base of white?
You can try it on a little portion
Okay.
first. If you see that it's not masking the color, it is not affecting the richness of the gold color,
Okay.
you can go for it. Otherwise, you see that it's making your plans go wrong. So what you are going to do is you are going to mask it with the yellow ochre instead of white.
Okay.
Then you can mask it with gold. Okay, so in this calligraphic work, we are going to leave some white spaces as well in order to show the reflections of the light. You don't have to cover and mask it with the complete pigment, and leave some portions white there as well. And the backdrop, we have rods, let's just not forget them. So we'll also do the rods too in the background. I'm doing some finishing work over here.
Have you learned it from somewhere or you just practice on your own?
I'm a self-taught artist. Just practiced a lot. So for this background, I'm using the same yellow, combination of yellow with Van Dyke brown for rods in the background, because these rods are hidden, they are not that visible. So for that reason I'm going to use the dark tones. Here in these portions light is not reflected much, so these are in the shadows. So we are going to follow the patterns, the color palette that is aiding this shadowy effect on these rods. So what we are going to use? We are going to use mid yellow along with Van Dyke brown, and we are going to darken things up using black as well, if necessary. And in the light exposed rods, the color palette will be same but in the light tones. But here too we need to show some reflections, right? So for reflections, you are always going to choose the light tone. Some of the portions are having some sort of light. So for that reason, we are going to expose them to some light. Going to show some shadows. But if you feel like that we have gone a little bit overwhelmed with our use of shadowy effect, then what are we going to use? We are going to revert back to our original colors, the dark color palette that we are previously using. You can also clean the brush and we can blend it like this, the colors. And it would be very easy for you to do this blending portion. Once the color is dried, then it's not possible because the drying time of the acrylics is very quick, and if the colors are getting dried, then it will get very difficult for you to blend them out. So in order to do things with the acrylics, you have to be in the rush. You have to take quick decisions, good decisions, propagating and assisting your drawing and painting. So for the shadow part and the definition, I'm going to use black. What I did, can anyone please repeat what I did in there in this part?
Highlighted and enhance the lighter parts.
Yes, lighter parts, enhance the lighter parts and did the detailing with the
Black.
dark black, yes. So since the rods are in the background, so we'll choose the same dark color palette. While same rods, when they are extending to the other side of the light exposed side of the,
And actually, when you're going to apply the yellow one and the gold on this white. Darker ones are going to be highlighted more, I feel.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Example, the ones that you blended, so when you're going to enhance the calligraphy resume as well. So then the lighter ones on the back just
They will be highlighted, yes.
Yeah.
They will be prominent. And what you can do is, you can also give some highlights to your calligraphic work using just solo white in order to show the light reflections. Along with white, you can also use white when you're using these color tones. I'm talking about these color tones specifically. If you're using gold, then there is not even necessary to use any other color. If you are painting it in gold.
But then do you think that gold is going to give this depth if we only use
No.
gold? No, right?
No. I never use gold in my paintings. I give the golden effect using all these colors. But I do not prefer gold foil in my paintings. Gold foil, gold shade. Unless it's a halo or circular vertex which is there, the background mein, I just introduce a halo. But it's not my favorite thing. The gold shade I minimally use in my paintings. I give this sort of effect to show the golden shade. I see most of the people have drawn the Kaba Kiswa with the simple gold shade. But I like this version of the painting, this version of the calligraphy more. I'm sorry, I interrupted someone. Someone was speaking something.
I'm just thinking, maybe it's the choice, right?
Yeah,
We should
the personal
experiment with
artist.
different things.
Yes, exactly. We should always be open up with the different experimentation, especially when we are in the phase of learning. Unless we won't learn and experiment and fail, we won't get anything.
Right.
It's very necessary, it's a part of the process. We make several different attempts and then we finalize with something and get successful with the things that we are looking forward to. So I hope that you have gotten this part of the calligraphy. It would be continually the same pattern, same different designs over here. Okay, this part. I should demonstrate this part as well. Yeah, and the rods. The exposed rods I'm going to do. For example, this part. So that you guys should know. And for the rods, so like for example, you guys were asking, this is how this color will look when I'm applying it without the white base. Like for example, the lightest shade that I'm using on this palette is yellow. This is how it will look. And if I'm applying it, this yellow on this white background, this is how it looks. So you see the difference. So in order to get the rich color, we have to mask the darkness of the background first, and then we'll proceed with our different layers of colors that we are going to apply. This is the top head of these rods. I'm making one and I'm showing you one, and all will be the same. The color sequences, the shape, each and everything would be same. It's a big painting and I need to demonstrate you guys so that when you come tomorrow, this was not dried and it has got smudged. So that you can, if you'll come tomorrow, you will come tomorrow of course. So you'll guide, I'll guide you. If anybody would be missing on any point, then I'll repeat it for you. But I'm trying to cover major portions of this work today. Let me see the time.
It's
About 1.
yeah.
I think I would go for till 2 maybe or 1:30. So that you guys when you come tomorrow, if anyone would be stuck on some point, I'll demonstrate it again. We have different portions of this work and it won't be a big deal. So what I did the detailing with the dark tones. Again I'm going to use raw sienna in the central part. Since it's a circular part, so the reflections will be shown like a ball or metallic ball. You have bob. You see the reflection of on the bob. So it is like that. Some depth I will give to these. Heads of the pillars with using the Van Dyke brown and black. So for the dark tones, you already know that what this color palette contains, black and Van Dyke brown, and for the lighter parts will always be yellow, yellow orange, or the combination of Van Dyke brown plus yellow that gives an olive sort of color. So these are the primary shades that we are going to use in this painting.
I think we should take some rest to understand. Yeah.
Okay, till 1. But I have to meet my target. So 1:30, I think I will extend this to 1:30 and then inshallah you guys can proceed with your paintings.
Right.
I have to meet today's target. So here in this portion as well, I am going to use the same shades for highlights. We are always going to use white to give the highlights because this is the metallic portion. This is the metallic work. So light reflections need to be highlighted. So white is your color, should be your color of preference, and we are working on a darker base, so white is a must.
Really well.
Thank you very much.
Like it's, I'm getting this feeling that once I start painting, inshallah, it won't be that difficult. Before I was, coming here, I was thinking, यार ये कैसे हुआ?
Thank you so much for acknowledging it. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Very nice gesture of yours.
Actually, we have a huge activity. We have familiar with oil paints, both of us.
Same.
You
You guys are friends?
No, when she saw me
Okay.
here, so I used to take Hani Shazad's painting classes in the home. Way back to 2017.
Okay, that's really
And
nice.
she joined from 2017, so maybe she has seen me in the classes. I used to visit her.
Wow, you guys have met finally. This is
So
good.
that's why we are a bit confused with oil and
And also because I have never made anything architectural.
Okay.
I'm only a landscape painter or a street architect.
Okay. So I'm really glad with the feedback of yours that you're so far you are getting what we have been taught, and it has really made my day. Thank you very much. So I'm just getting done with this part and the little bit of the calligraphy portion I need to cover, and then you guys can start with the work. And I would really appreciate if you guys will come with some certain completion of this work from home, because unfortunately we don't have much time. It was just like demonstrating this to you guys. I really wish that you guys would have more time.
Painting, right?
Yeah, the whole day, not the whole day maybe, because obviously there are certain portions. If you can, I have no
Along with
issues.
you, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we can, yes, you can do that too as well. But if you साथ में, yes, you can if you want to.
because at home I actually don't have network.
Okay, so you can use air, but I don't think that you would be able to complete
No,
this
we will
entire
see
thing.
that how much we can do, and then we can buy a set.
Yeah, that would be great.
मैं नोट कर रही हूँ कि टाइम में तुम्हारे से तो ज़्यादा करेंगे मैं कब कर क्योंकि ये टाइम टेकिंग है क्योंकि वैसे आपने 3 से 4 बार बनाई मेरे
नहीं, ये मेरी second time है.
Second time.
ये अभी
Then
this
we
in this class.
The first one was your original one.
That one was my original one, and I haven't made that painting ever again. This is the second time I'm painting. आप लोगों को ये जो ये दिखाई है, ये मैंने बनाई थी घर में, and then now finally I'm
I've
doing.
seen one of your workshops as well. Like similarly, आपने इससे
I
पहले
love Malina उसका कैसा होगा
हाँ,
you have attended that. How was that?
हिफ्जा ने मेरी दोनों सारी
अच्छा
So many classes you have already.
ये थर्ड क्लास है ये
जी।
थर्ड क्लास में
That's great. And then you completed painting.
कंप्लीट हो गई है एक हो गई है एक नहीं थी
आज तो मदीना वाली रहती होगी, वो बहुत वो
वो
एक्सटेंडेड.
अब मुझसे मेरी अम्मी ने भी कह दिया कंप्लीट करके हाँ कंप्लीट करके रख दो कब तक हमें दिखाते हो कि कंप्लीट
इट्स वेरी
मैंने
टाइम.
उनसे कहा था हमें टाइम दिया और फिर मैं कंप्लीट करूँगी
बहुत ज़्यादा उसमें वर्क है. उसमें दे आर वेरी टाइनी इंट्रिकेट डिटेल्स. बहुत ज़्यादा टायरिंग भी है वो.
घर में वाइट भी नहीं आती है
हाँ, बहुत होना चाहिए ना.
ये वाइट
This is her painting? मैंने पेज पे देखी है. Actually, I'm feeling that when it's a bigger canvas, then detailing is much more easier than on the smaller one.
Yes.
Right?
Because we have noted
And cleaner as well.
Yeah.
Detailed and cleaner as well. Because intricacies and details are very minor and they are very difficult to work with. So I think the small dimensions do not aid your convenience or aid you in making these intricate architectural paintings.
Just completed this one.
नहीं इसमें वीडियो है ना वो ये वाला पार्ट में करने के लिए पिक्चर नहीं है
Yeah. Doing one.
मुझे तो सुकून ही नहीं आया जब तक complete.
लेकिन
No, Ifza, तो I think she works and she's busy, so obviously.
वो काबा वाली से पिक्चर नहीं है इनकी वाली है
And the best part is that the idea is actually yours ना, क्योंकि ये original जो आपकी है वो तो original ही रहेगी. बहुत प्यारी ये खाबों का थोड़ा सा जावी खाबों.
ये लेकिन ये मेरी आसपास काफी बना हुआ है.
हाँ पर ये ना
सबके हाथ के
अलग होता है, इनका सिग्नेचर स्टाइल अलग है.
मुझे गोल्डन कलर इतना कुछ खास पसंद नहीं है, लेकिन जब मैंने ये सीखा है मुझे इसमें ज़्यादा मज़ा आया, क्योंकि आप जो ये हाँ गोल्डन ये मेरा मुझे सेट मेरा ये पार्ट हो गया और ये वाला जो भी यहाँ पर हो गया ये रहता है बस.
How much long it will take for the black to dry?
Since the acrylics take very less time, so आप इसको बस पंखे के exposure में रख लें. हाँ, will get dry with you. Just touch it and then you'll see that if the color is right and you are ready to go. Okay, so guys, when you come tomorrow, I'll take from 11:30 to 1. I'll take the session, this part and these rods. Then you'll be proceeding further with the work, inshallah, and try to finish it up. Which obviously you won't be able to finish this
As
painting,
much as you can.
yeah, as much as you can. Yes. And some portions that might be troublesome for you, so I will repeat those steps as well, because right now you are seeing me doing it, but you'll do it when you'll do it practically. It would be an entirely different thing.
Exactly. Seeing something and doing something are
Yeah,
different.
you'll do it practically, then try it practically. I too get stuck a lot but when I try to do things practically. And it's for example, if you are watching a makeup tutorial, it's all nice and easy and you're watching someone doing it, but when you try it yourself, then you get stuck. You watch it on repeat, then you revisit that video again. What was that step? You missed something.
Otherwise, everyone could have become a makeup artist.
Yeah,
by
of
now.
course,
Every
yes.
Other lady.
Yes. Everybody loves to wear makeup. So in order to do it, you have to repetitively do each and everything, practice each and everything in order to get habitual and make a habit of it. Even if you are pausing the painting, if you are getting out of touch for some time, you literally forget some of the steps that are already built up in your subconscious mind. Still you forget that. Happens to me as well. So you have to practice a lot and get ourselves, keep in touch with the techniques, learn new techniques, try them. But I'm very hopeful and I'm positive regarding your work, inshallah. I'm sure that it's going to be very amazing. you can also follow my painting, or you can follow the original reference image that I have shared with you. If you like those tones, you can go for those tones. That contains olive majorly.
Use acrylics only or main medium of?
I have just got my hands on acrylics and watercolors. That's it.
Watercolors.
Yes, I haven't tried oil because I have a little abhorrence with the smell, and the
Okay,
drying time
yes.
is very hectic, and I am very impatient. So
Okay.
it's a no-no for me. But yeah, oils are the best,
But
and
yes.
oil paintings look very realistic, and the blending is amazing. Each and everything about oil painting is amazing. And even if you see that old painters, old masters, the paintings of Renaissance, the paintings of 18th and 19th century painters, very famous painters, they all have used oils. Nobody knew about acrylics.
Yeah. Acrylic maybe is a new medium, right?
Yeah, I think that it's a new medium. Even I didn't know about acrylics. When I made the Instagram account on in 2020, then I came to know about acrylics. Otherwise, I was previously used watercolors. For my whole life, all the practice work I've done with the watercolors. But when I came to know about acrylics, I really love them because obviously they have this richness of the colors, and the appearance of them is very nice and makes the painting looks realistic. Plus, it has this plus point of quick drying time. But yeah, this is also a problem for me. Means
Yeah,
the
because
drying
it
time,
dries
it dries since it's a polymer, it gets dry and then you're done. And your money is wasted. So what do? I use ice trays to sprinkle some water on these acrylics and to increase their drying time, and in order to save my color palette, because I always dilute my colors when I'm painting,
Okay.
especially the detailing works I'm doing. I always sprinkle some water. I have spray bottles. Sprinkle some water. Keep them in the ice tray because it has a cavity to keep the colors. And I dilute them. And diluted colors are very brush friendly as well. So if you are working with the detailing brushes, it would be the flow would be very nice and clean.
And I think the life will also be long.
Yes,
Colors.
the colors as well as your brushes.
Precious.
So yeah, and it won't leave any cracked color.
So
Like for
what is the ratio? Like, for example, you take one part of acrylic, how much water then you have to take, double or the same amount?
same amount, not that overwhelming water, because obviously the viscosity of the color will be lost. Yes, so it has to be thick and it has to be not that diluted. It doesn't have to lose its original thickness and consistency. So you have to be a little bit careful with the use of
I
water.
think it comes with practice. Then, like once we start using acrylic, we'll get to know. how
Yeah,
much
you'll get to know.
the dilution will be.
Yeah, sometimes the water will obviously be dominant, but most of the times you'll get to know how much water you have to sprinkle. Really?
आपके जो बच्चे हैं
हाँ Get on
सोना पड़ेगा इसको.
हाँ I think we should wash it right away. एक ही मिनट के लिए ना घर की तो एक ही बात कर सकते हैं. हम इसमें
अब मैं इसी का बात है तो मेरे बाइक पे पेन गिरा लेकिन घर में जब करना होता है फिर मैं कपड़े कपड़े कौन से फिर गिरता है ये जो मैंने पहले इसको शायद नया यहाँ साइड पे
So this is the all colored pattern
Yeah.
that we are going to follow. I don't think that you guys need much demonstration.
Yeah.
I think this point is clear. This rod is clear. The background rods are clear. This part of the architecture is clear. This head of the rod that I demonstrated. If you guys have any question, you can ask, or then we can just close this session and you can proceed with your paintings, with drawing first and then the painting.
First the black background, right?
Yes. So we are closing this session. If you have any question, you can ask. I can demonstrate. I have enough time.
It's well demonstrated already.
Okay.